Hello, hello. How you doing, man? Just getting set up here. I'm good. I'm off tomorrow, so I want to be at the game center at least a couple hours. I haven't decided how long I'll stay. There's supposed to be a Smash tournament there, so I don't know how crowded it will be. It's actually a pretty small place. You don't have a lot of room in there. Switch port of this is very good, by the way. I played it over at my neighbor's house. I mean, look at how this game looks. There's no reason why it shouldn't run well, but you know that doesn't mean anything on the Switch. Just like the Vita before it. But yeah, the Switch port of this is pretty solid. Yeah, and I definitely have played games that look like this. still run like garbage, so pretty commendable. You know what, I should go in here. We're gonna go ahead and do this. You know, the tutorial in this game is so much better than, so much better than a lot of other games like this. It tells you everything you need to know to play the game, and it also gives you rewards for doing it, too. What's the excuse with, like, DMC not having this stuff? It's sad, really. Kinda like how this game is made by one guy, and it has a better explanation for, like, the melee combat game than, like, big stuff like DMC. It's sad, really. This game is pretty legit. This one's hard to do. What's the timing on this? Let me see what it is. Oh, there we go. Got it. Nice. Alright. Yeah, this has like it's impressive how much it's got. Yeah, but the problem with DMC is it doesn't teach you how to use any of that stuff. It teaches you how to use like absolutely none of it. Like this tells you everything you need to know to play. It's very impressive. As someone who's played a lot of these games. Hey, what's up, man? Playing Unsold. I want to fight the boss again. Hey, that boss was like a Tails boss. I really liked it. Wondering if I can fight him again. This is hard. Plus I have like a stock character. I don't know if you're supposed to... I don't know if you're supposed to do these after you finish the game or not. But I'm stubborn. I like challenges like this. This is not frustrating at all. It's totally my fault that I'm getting hit. It's not jank. Although this is really hard to see when they're in the corner. It's nice that he implemented a little silhouette feature, but kind of like most other games that have that, it's not really a solution. Can feel a little bit unfair. This game is really solid, though. I'm sad I backlogged it for so long. I'm gonna be adding like a roguelike mode to this too. It's with all the kick-ass like small action games getting roguelike modes. I'm all for it. This is getting one. Ultra Age, Bloody Spell. It's like Christmas, man. That was almost good. What's up, Grow? Thanks for linking me to that grid tournament last night, but I should ban you because you told me about it in the fucking grand finals. I wanted to watch the whole thing. I get in there, this Adam player is freaking running a train, man. Late to the party, man. I want to watch that whole thing. That was some good grid. That was some excellent grid. That Adam player was friggin' phenomenal. I love how busted grid looks at a high level. It's just like one player touches the other player and they're just dead. It's definitely one of those games you appreciate watching it more when you actually play it yourself, because you know how hard that shit is to do. Well, that was going well until I started getting myself cornered. I'm definitely going to do this before I move on. I got to get better at countering. Dude, I haven't seen anyone play Samurai Showdown in like 3 years. That game is cursed. It really is. People played it here for a while, but then the pandemic hit and the netcode is poop, so died off really fast. It's a shame, really. That game deserves better, but they didn't bother to give it rollback, and then it released like 4 months before a global lockdown. So the game is unplayable. There we go. Nice. Yeah, look at that S rank. Nice. I gotta get better at the chain counters. They're like the Isens from Onimusha. It's pretty much the exact same thing. I think the timing is a lot tighter here. You can't just mash it. I gotta get better at that. But this game has really good training resources. Okay, I guess I get more as I get farther. Alright. Oh wow, what's this? I don't want auto combo. You know, I actually would probably use this to just practice a boss. I think one of the things of boss fights that makes people just want to mash past them is when they take forever to kill, or you die in one hit. That was the problem with Hunter X. The bosses are fun. They're fun to learn. They have very diverse movesets and stuff, but you die in 2 hits, and then you have to run back for like 30 seconds to a minute to fight them again. And then you get hit again and you die. like, tools like this can actually make you better at the game. Anybody who says stuff like this is, they suck, or it's not playing the game properly. It actually can help. I played a game called Way of the Passive Fist, and I got really good at that game. I was no damaging the bosses and stuff. And the reason I got that good was because it had an accessibility feature that allowed you to add more checkpoints. Now, yes, the checkpoints made it easier, but I got better at the game faster because when I was having trouble with something, I could get right back there. Uh, Part of the problem is you put hard bosses in a game like this, and they kill you in like 2 hits. You don't have time to like really learn. It's an interesting concept to have stuff like this. I think it's actually really cool. The game hasn't been hard enough to really warrant it, but I'm probably an outlier. I play a lot of melee action games and stuff. But yeah, it's really cool to see this. I probably would not bother playing this on the hardest difficulty though. It probably stops being fun. I don't know how much it changes. Hey, I got a lot of upgrades for that, damn. Lots of moves down here too. It's like 7 more moves to unlock. Moveset's already pretty big. Decreases the stamina cost. The stamina is like a non-issue in this game. Yeah, that game was... Problem with that game was it was very boring to watch. That game was not a spectator game at all. I talked to the lead programmer on that game when he gave me the key, and he said that was whatever their next game is, they're gonna make it more interesting to watch. Cause it's not a spectator game at all. It looks really boring, just standing there and parrying the whole time. But like, actually playing that game is really engaging. It actually did something new quite well. can't use it again, though. What does it want me to do? How do I use it again? Come on, man. Just let me run forward and fight. I can't progress. It won't let me. That's not doing anything either. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I can't use the soul again because I don't have enough bar. This gimmick is really annoying. Come on. I don't want to do this. Give me rooms of people to fight. Yeah, please give me health. I think of Streets 4. Great game. I was a beta tester on that game, so I had direct input. Definitely play that more when the mobile port comes out. I'm excited for that mobile port. Yes, I have the game for Switch. I have 2 copies of the game actually, but my Switch is a V1 Switch, and it barely has any battery life left. It's been depleted too much. My phone has a much better battery than the Switch does, so minus the whole kitty sitting stream application, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, you look at how rudimentary this game looks. It's not even really a good-looking game by pixel art standards. Like, I played this for like 45 minutes, and the battery went down like 30%. That's how jacked up my Switch's battery is. But the thing about my Switch is it's the one that can't be jailbroken. So I want to keep it for like frame rate patches and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the mobile port. Very exciting. The people that are porting it have done, they've done a lot of other games, like a lot of other console games on mobile, like Dead Cells is like their biggest one. I didn't realize just how jacked my battery was until I played this over at my other job today for like maybe an hour. It was at 75% battery when I left, and then playing it for like that short time, it drained it that much. I'd get Nintendo to replace the battery, but probably just give me another one. And the Switches past the launch can't put custom firmware on them. stuck! Okay, like, where do I go? Oh, it's right here. That was a little bit obtuse. Kinda hard to see that with, like, all the chaos of respawning enemies. And Indiana Jones. What the hell? I can hit it like 30 times. You gotta have something like that in a game with infinite chaining dashes. The rhythm to it. See if we can get that again. Almost did that first try. Why is it facing the opposite direction? Oh, great time to get tired. Didn't notice he was tired. Thankfully, this game is not really a Souls-like, so he doesn't get tired often. That was totally my fault, yeah. Just telling you to replenish the stamina. In his defense, he chained like 30 dashes in a row before he got tired, so he's not a FromSoft protagonist. I don't think a FromSoft protagonist could make it through this game. This right here would be a soft lock. The hard part is you have to turn back around to hit the switch. I'm like not quite grasping how to do that yet. Come on! How many times do I have to hit it? This is actually kind of annoying. I'm like barely dying to the combat. It's just gimmicks. It'd make more sense if the switch was facing the other way. It's really awkward to have to turn backwards and do it. Took me way too long to do that. It's kind of awkward. Must be boss soon. It's got to be the boss room, yeah. Looking like it. Let's see what you got. Second boss. How long is this going to take? boss was not as good as the first one. First one was... He was pretty honest. That one was, concerning amount of projectile spam. Couldn't really tell when I had an opening. Five deaths, all on the Indiana Jones puzzle. Actually did pretty damn good. That's a major buzzkill. Like, combat-wise, I did pretty well, but that Indiana Jones puzzle is a lot harder than it probably looked watching it. Let's take a break from this. I did 2 levels today. Yeah, that game is really cool. It's impressive that that was made by one person. I'm telling you, man. Why are, like, some of the best action games made by, like, one guy? You got that. You got Assault Spy. Uh, what's a third one? Fight and Rage. Like, all made by one guy. I'm like, I'd rather play that than a lot of bigger stuff. Yeah, that game is really solid. We'll play more of that later. Go ahead and switch games here. The game just came out of early access, by the way. So the game got decent publicity, but I don't think it got too much. But if your principles don't allow you to buy early access games, it's out now. It's on Game Pass as well, as far as I know. I think they put it on Game Pass. So if you want to try that game, and you have Game Pass, it's literally free. It's on the Switch as well. I played the Switch version for like an hour, and I know the game is like not really that attractive looking. I think the problem with that game's art style is the environments and stuff. The non like character parts are beautiful, but the sprites themselves are not very detailed. Now you can forgive that because it was made by one guy, and that's a hell of a lot of pixel art to make with one person team. There definitely are some visibility problems, like readability problems in that game. Like sometimes the camera zooms out a lot, and you're looking at sprites that like they don't really have a lot of details. You can't like really clearly see their limbs or what they're doing. That definitely is a problem with the art style, but as you can see there, it's nothing you can't get past. I think he might be one of those pixel artists that's really good at backgrounds, but he's not great at character sprites. There are a lot like that. Sengoku 3, you ever played that game? The game is very similar to Unsold, where like one part of the graphics is really good and the other part is bad. In that game, the sprites are amazing. That game has some of the best sprites in like any pixel art beat 'em up. But the backgrounds look like they got the character artist to do them, and that person they really phoned in the backgrounds in that game. It's not something you really notice when you playing it. When you're playing it, you're focusing on the beautiful like sprites that you're interacting with. But when you watch it and you look in the back, you're like, man, these backgrounds are terrible. Unsold is kind of the opposite. The environment looks great. I really like the atmosphere of the game, but I feel like those humanoid bosses, I can't always really tell what they're doing. It just doesn't have the readability of like a 3D game or something like Streets 4, which has like big sprites and you can clearly see what they're doing. So I don't know how good that game is on the hardest difficulty. That might actually start to become more of a problem, but I don't bother with the hardest difficulties on games first playthrough because now that there's so many games coming out and a lot of them are from like 1 to 4 people like that game. Uh, I don't always have a lot of faith that they can balance it. Like, there are some hard modes in games that are just completely jacked up. Uh, Tales of Abyss Unknown mode is one. Like the stat increase, it's like they made no effort making that mode at all. The first enemy you fight is the boar, and it takes like no, I'm not exaggerating, it takes like 10 minutes to kill that boar because even though you're on New Game Plus, it's like basically it's the first battle outside of the tutorial. You have no access to any of the progression mechanics, so you're hitting the thing for like 1 damage for like 10 minutes. I don't really like to play games on hard mode the first time. It's something I'll go back and do if it's something like Streets 4, where it's like it's well balanced. It's not completely jank, and they didn't give things like 30 times more health. Yeah, I wonder how that game plays on the hardest difficulty. Like, does the like lack of visibility or readability on the sprites actually affect it or not? I'm curious if it does. I would say that's that game's only downfall is it feels like the guy is really great at drawing environments, but the sprites don't give you the information you want all the time. Let me pull up a screenshot of Sengoku 3. Let me find a good one. You guys can see what I'm talking about. Sengoku 3 is the opposite of that game I was just playing. Beautiful sprites, horrible backgrounds. Here's a perfect example right here. Oh, it's my own video too, even better. Literally my own video from like 4 years ago. Hold on. Perfect. Thanks, past me. Look at this. Look at the sprite. The sprites are amazing, but look at the background. The background is horrible. They made like one asset and copy pasted it like a dozen times. It's another example. Background here is pretty bad too. Even this right here. Look at the quality of the NPC sprites compared to Kagesuda here, main character. It's another one of the first boss. Final boss background is pretty bad too. Oh man, this fan art is awesome. I love this. That is cool. Wow. You don't see much fan art for this game. It's cool how my own video is at the top here. Where is it? Yeah, right here. I'd play Hunter X, but I'm just gonna get tilted. I don't want to play that right now. They said that they're gonna look into that final boss. It's like, I'll play that game when they fix the tracking. You know what? I thought it was just me because I do tend to get like visibly more frustrated when I play a game for the first time. Usually, after I play it a second time, I get less frustrated. But somebody on the Steam forums pointed out one of the bosses that I beat off camera, and that boss had bullshit tracking too. So I was like pretty vindicating. You know, when you play a game before release, you don't know if your opinion or your complaint or your criticism is even legitimate or not, because you don't have anyone else's to go off of. But that guy was pointing out the exact same thing. Should pull that up right now. Uh, Go back to this source. I'll probably play like one more game and then I'm gonna go to bed because I have to. I'm going to the game center tomorrow or today. Yes, it is a Metroidvania. The rest of this is true, but it is a Metroidvania. It's not a particularly great one. Traversal wise, at least, Hunter X is really weak. And it definitely is a Metroidvania. Yeah, tracking issues. I felt so much better looking at this guy's video. Like, yeah. And no circumstance should I be clearly dodging an attack, dashing behind it, and the boss does complete 180 and hits me, and the hitbox is still active. Like, that is immensely frustrating. I'm glad it's not just me, because it happens a lot in that game, and it's really annoying. You know, I wanted to try this game. Uh, what DLC would I have to buy for this? I don't give a shit about the costumes. This is only 20 bucks. I never played this game even once. What do I get with Core Fighters? Oh, this is everything for $20. Oh, how many characters did they add to this game? Jeez. Oh wait, this is they made this game free to play. They made it free to play, so this isn't like all characters they added. I know this game has like $8 trillion of DLC though. I don't give a shit about these costumes. Good lord, $600 of DLC. Well, luckily, I think everything that's gameplay is right here. I might check this out. Let's see, is it a bad port? Holy shit, this DLC! 461! What the hell, man? How much does this cost? Like $1,000? Are they out of their minds? I really wish they would just, like, organize this stuff by, like, character. I'm like, dude, I don't care about their skimpy clothing. Like, I just want the actual game. They can't even show all of it. Like, 461 DLC items. I don't even know what the deluxe edition means. Season pass is 45 bucks. 50 costumes and one character. You see, like, I don't know why Japanese companies don't understand this. And you look at this game and it's free to play, but then you scroll down like 1 inch, and there's so much DLC that you can't even see it all. There's no package with all of it. And like just this half of it right here is like $400. That scares people away. Like Dynasty Warriors 9, perfect example. This game actually does not have that much DLC, but the page for it is a disaster. Well, it's actually a little bit better now. Yeah, this gives you everything for 40 bucks, but this page used to be a nightmare. Look at this. $605. What's interesting about it is like probably like 200 of it is just the tickets for the free-to-play version. I really think Steam should offer developers a way to like consolidate this and make it more clear like what is actually worth buying. So I think I'm gonna go to bed, folks. I think I'm gonna try to get some rest. I've been sleeping a lot in the morning. Want to make sure I'm presentable so I can go to the game center in the afternoon. I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. Actually, I don't feel like playing anything else. Uh, I will be off from kitty sitting today, so I'll probably stream from over there if I have permission. Depends on who's working there. But we'll play some games over there. I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Good night.